the reason why some of Europe's largest research organisations have decided to renew their commitment to this process with the European Commission. And they're going to sign a new joint statement which covers this finalisation phase of ERA, although somebody earlier disputed that there could ever be a finality to ERA, that it was a permanent journey, it's not something you could ever complete. But this commitment is a statement that covers this phase running up to the end of 2019. So I think we are ready, and we can now proceed to that signing ceremony. I'm just looking for a signal as to whether they all have to sign 6 copies of this document, ladies and gentlemen, so they can swap them, which is why we're just trying to make sure everything is in place, including the beautiful pens with which they will do this. Are we in business? Just the pens to be provided. So those who will be signing, practice your very elegant, flourishing signatures. I should also mention then this afternoon we will drill down. We're going to have a very special speaker for you immediately after lunch, the father of open innovation, as he was described by Commissioner Moedas yesterday. I am told that we are now ready. So first I would like to welcome back, and if you could go and stand on the other side of the podium to me, the Commissioner, Carlos Moedas. A very warm welcome back, Commissioner. You've been with us listening to the discussions. Now you have the privilege of welcoming our signatories onto the stage. So let me introduce them, and as I introduce you, could you please come up? You shake the Commissioner's hand in formal fashion, and then you proceed to your seat at the desk so we can proceed to the signing ceremony. I'm going to introduce our signatories in alphabetical order of their organisations. So, let me first welcome onto the stage Professor Ernst Schmachtenberg, who is President-elect of the Conference of European Schools for Advanced Engineering, Education and Research, better known as CESAR. So, congratulations to you for joining in this renewed commitment. Our second signatory, Maria Korzand, President of the European Association of Research and Technology Organisations, EARTO, and also accompanied by Muriel Attanay, who is the Secretary-General of EARTO. So if you too, Muriel, could come forward. Thank you very much. You can go either way, whichever works for you. Please. Thank you very much. Professor Maria Elena Nazare, President of the European University Association. Welcome to you and to this signing ceremony, and also from the European University Association, Leslie Wilson. Please. I'd now like to welcome up Professor Alain Beretz, Chair of the League of European Research Universities. There he is. And also from LERU, from the League of European Research Universities, Professor Kurt De Ketelaere. Very warm welcome to you. And last but not very much not least, Amanda Crowfoot, Director of Science Europe. There she is. Thank you. So, and Commissioner as well, if you can all take your seats, and if you could now proceed to sign your 6 copies of the document. There's someone there to help you, and then after we have finished that signing process, we will have a few words from the Commissioner and also from one representative each of our signatory organisations. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have been talking all day and yesterday as well about the most important thing to do if you are going to build on this era is to work together, to bring the different stakeholders together in order to really deliver. That's how it works from the bottom up. So this commitment that they are all signing is extremely important. So. This is not a simple process, ladies and gentlemen. At the end, we'll just have to count how many there are and make sure we have them all. I was saying, and while they're signing, just to go back. We are going to go back this afternoon, as I say. We're going to hear from the father of open innovation, and then we're going to have a panel discussion just to pull everything together, try to pull everything together, about research and driving innovation, come back to those themes that we have addressed time and again in the sessions today and yesterday, and try and identify. We've been asking all the time for priorities for action, key next steps, really try to identify some key next steps. Some of you want to take photos. I'm going to get out of the way so that I do not impede your photos. There we are. I think we're doing quite well here in terms of the number. It's a bit like a very complicated game of pass the parcel. I will stop the music in a minute. Are you feeling very important with all these multiple signatures? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please do stand up. Congratulations. And now I would like to invite the Commissioner to say just a few words. Commissioner, over to you, sir. Please, you may sit down while the Commissioner speaks.
Very good. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for everyone. It has been a wonderful 2 days, not yet over, but I wanted to actually take here a little bit just to tell you how important this ceremony is. This ceremony is important because what we do really goes beyond governments, goes beyond institutions that are related to governments. A lot of what is the European research area is about the stakeholders. And those stakeholders are crucial, and they are the key, actually, to finalize what I call the first chapter of the European research area, which is the physical chapter of the European research area. And once in Parliament, someone asked me what were the major parts of finalizing that first chapter. And I said that for me there were really 3 points. The first one was the alignment of the national agendas of research, science and innovation in different countries. And that really depends on governments. But the other 2 really important pieces of finalizing this first chapter, they not depend that much on governments. They depend on these really good friends around here in this table that represent the universities. One is about gender balance, and we just heard about it, where 40% of the researchers are women, but then when you go to the top of the universities, less than 10% are the deans and the rectors of those universities. So gender balance is something that these stakeholders can really help us on achieving. And then we really had the point of how transparent is recruitment around Europe in terms of the universities. How open and transparent can it be? And that also depends on the work of all these people sitting here together. So 2 of the 3 main pillars of achieving an European research area that is finalized in terms of the physical world, as I described yesterday, they depend so much on what we're doing here today. I know that we are all on board on those objectives, but I'm extremely humbled because their work is much more important than mine, because they are the ones that influence, they are the ones that talk to students, they are the ones that really can change for the next generation. So thank you very much to all around. Your job is crucial, and I'm really glad that we are here today signing it so we can actually change the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. I'm now going to invite each organisation's head of delegation to make a very short statement, a couple of minutes each, just on what this means for them. So, Professor Schmachtenberg from CESA, you first, please, sir.
In this holy moment, I have to read a paper because I have to speak for more than 50 universities of technology. Dear Mr. Commissioner, ladies and gentlemen, CESA is committed to the ERA partnership and welcomes the opportunity to sign the joint statement today. We appreciate the close cooperation with our partner stakeholders and the Commission, as well as its first step towards working with the Member States via the European Research and Innovation Committee. I can assure you that CESA is actively implementing its ERA action plan in the framework of its task forces following the commitment presented in 2013. 40% of the top higher education institutions in the frame Program 7 are CESA universities, which shows that we form an important element of ERA. Currently, the CESA ERA action plan focuses on 4 priority areas: human resources for research, knowledge transfer, open science, transnational cooperation, and spreading excellence. At the moment, we are preparing for the CESA General Assembly in Leuven on the 9th of October 2015. We would be highly appreciated an opportunity to discuss our updated ERA action plan with you, Mr. Commissioner. Since the General Assembly will also be the occasion to celebrate the 25th anniversary, I would like to use today's opportunity to invite you to join us as a keynote speaker. Mr. Commissioner, our activities were started because of the demands of our members, but they are essential for the development of the ERA and an integrated European space for research and innovation. We are and we will continue to be highly committed to make the ERA partnership a success, and we look forward to our even closer cooperation following the motto used in 2030 already. ERA is our common horizon for 2020 and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Professor Schmachtenberg, ladies and gentlemen, from CESA. And now a statement on behalf of EATO by Maria Korzand. Maria.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to a new start for Europe and opening up to an era of innovation. Open innovation is key. Financing models need to be coherent. Loans will clearly complement, hence not replace grants. Financial models for TRL level 3 to 7, value at death, need to be strengthened. Diversity is a very important tool for Europe. Innovation by cross-boundary cooperation and disciplines gives us tremendous potential. Looking forward to European Innovation Council, with a clear mandate bringing forward strategies, focus and priorities for increasing competitiveness for Europe, RTOs, our innovation partner, and a major asset driving a cross-boundary collaboration and disciplines, adding value to industry and society together with the universities, delivering impact.
Thank you very much indeed, Maria Korzand, ladies and gentlemen. And now, on behalf of the EUA, Professor Maria Elena Nazare, please.
Thank you very much. I'm indeed very honored to be here. And as a normal professor, I also have the vice to speak without a paper. But I have a similar problem. We, EUA, I represent 850 universities, so I would be beheaded if I don't follow the rules. So on behalf of EUA, I'm very happy to sign this joint statement. Since the signature of the Memorandum of Understanding with the European Commission in July 2012, EUA has addressed main issues and obstacles to implement European research area, which were defined in consultation with the other MOU stakeholder organization here present. I would like to draw attention to the key role of universities for Europe's long-term growth and competitiveness. The intention is to mobilize public authorities at all levels to further support universities in enhancing their research and innovation capacity and maximizing benefit to society. The strategic agenda for universities includes 7 main factors that will determine the future success of universities as research and innovation leaders. I'm not going to bother you with the 7 of those, but I would like to name a few. For example, the importance of partnerships and doctoral education, the upgrade of new programs and study tracks to provide new skills that would allow university graduates to successfully deal with the fast evolution of labor markets. Also, the challenges related to the development on open science, Science 2.0, and how these are going to affect researchers' careers need to be looked at in detail. UA is facing this new phase of the partnership in the spirit of this declaration. We will support the enlargement of the platform to include other organizations that share the objectives of ERA and work towards implementing them for the benefit of all. There are many challenges associated to the implementation of the ERA roadmap, and serious efforts must be made, and adequate investments and means must be made available to achieve a true European research area. Clearly, a good European research area is essential to enhance Europe's economic competitiveness, but the real ultimate objective is to improve the life of the European citizens and of the society at large. These objectives can only be achieved in partnership and in extensive dialogue in the framework of democratic values. Let's not forget that a good European research area cannot be achieved without a good European higher education area. In that sense, EUA would like to call for better connection and interaction between these 2 parts of the knowledge system at EU level. To conclude, EUA is very happy to hear the Vice President paying so much importance to the quality of teacher training. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Professor Nazare, ladies and gentlemen. And now, a statement from Professor Alain Beretz from Leroux. Please.
Dear Commissioner, ladies and gentlemen, as the President of the League of European Research Universities, it is also my great pleasure to confirm and renew our ERA engagements. The creation of ERA and its forthcoming has always been at the center of Leroux's attention, and therefore we welcome with enthusiasm in 2012 the European Commission's initiative to join forces with partnership stakeholders to further realize ERA. Leroux has worked hard, and I would like to recognize the effort of the office, which is well represented here, but also of my other colleagues. He's worked hard in the past 38 months on living up to the ERA MOU that we signed with the Commission in 2012. What were our actions in this implementing this MOU? The first ones was that we encouraged Leroux members to carry out actions to deliver on 12 ERA topics agreed to in the MOU. Our second action was that we engaged proactively in the stakeholder platform for the purpose of consultation, and our third range of actions was that we shared with the European Commission information to monitor the implementation of the MOU. And this collaborative partnership with the EC and the ERA platform stakeholders has been for Leroux a positive experience, and I hope it also has been for the Commission. And therefore, as we just signed, Leroux is willing to continue with this ERA partnership in the following years, and we are committed to developing appropriate initiatives on the part of universities to help realize the European research environment. We hope that EU member states and others, including research funders, will also contribute their share towards realizing the ERA objectives, and that they will take ambitious measures inspired in part by our Leroux papers to support and enable universities to help achieve a better functioning ERA. We certainly look forward to the national ERA roadmaps to be developed by the mid-2016. LERU and its two universities are willing to support and inspire that process. However, on a number of issues, universities are simply not in the driver's seat because they need national or European legal initiatives. I refer, for example, to social security and pension issues, to open access issues, data protection issues, copyright was mentioned this morning, etc., etc. We therefore hope that appropriate measures will be taken at the national level and at the EU level to solve these obstacles in ERA. LERU knows that Commissioner Moedas has ruled out in a talk the option of using EU legislation to speed up the implementation process, I quote, at least not for the time being. We think, however, that the time being might be running out of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Alain Beretz. Thank you so much. And our last statement from our signatory, Amanda Crowfoot from Science Europe. Amanda.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased indeed to be here today and to sign this joint statement and to recommit to ERA on behalf of Science Europe, which is an association of 50 national research funding and performing organisations. When the first joint statement was signed back in 2012, Science Europe was a very new organisation. We were actually only a few months old. So actually the signing of the joint statement was one of the first things we did as Science Europe. And I think we really have made considerable progress since then towards strengthening ERA. Just to mention a few areas, we've launched our own roadmap with our own priorities. We've provided evidence and guidance to support cross-border collaboration. We've developed principles on open access. We've helped to develop the Charter for Access to Research Infrastructures and also fostered networks of research infrastructures actors. And we've promoted the importance of research integrity. We're in the process of actively sharing best practice and gathering information on a whole range of ERA-related issues, such as research careers, research data, gender. We've also made sure that the voice of researchers is heard in ERA debate through the inclusion of the experts in our 6 scientific committees. And finally, we've campaigned hard for the appropriate regulatory frameworks and conditions for research, such as in the areas of data protection and text and data mining, which we've discussed earlier. Obviously, although we've made progress, more progress needs to be made, and we believe that this progress can only be made with the full engagement of all stakeholders, and that includes governments, national research organisations, universities, individual researchers, innovators, and the EU. And this is why this partnership is so important. It's hugely important in facilitating a dialogue between all of these, both in terms of devising technical solutions to overcome the barriers to ERA and also in terms of contributing to policy making. I think that strong European research capability requires strong national research capabilities and also requires a recognition that diversity is part of the strength of Europe. And so harnessing the expertise of national stakeholders, national actors, including the members of Science Europe, really is an essential element towards to realising progress towards ERA. So to conclude, we'd just like to thank all of our ERA partners for the collaboration so far, which is very much appreciated. And we look forward to an even more effective cooperation in the future in the context of a strengthened and extended partnership.
Thank you very much. Amanda Crowfoot, ladies and gentlemen. And could I ask you all, please, to just stand once more, shake hands with each other, show brotherly and sisterly love as we celebrate this important moment of commitment. Thank you very much. Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you to you all, and congratulations for your renewed commitment. That brings us to the end of the signing ceremony and to the end of the morning session.